What haunts you the most? The shiny Dunsparce I just found. That this post will die new. I hope it doesn't, because I like this post. That there are people who still spend 15% more on car insurance, just because they have yet to switch to Geco. The ghost that follows my wife around. Sorry about that. It'll do better from here on out. Thank you. It gets a bit weird sometimes. Story time. I'm extremely into the paranormal, and if you're serious I have to know. Actually I'm serious. There are several stories. Heavy kitchen chairs moving on their own. My wife loves wind chimes, so we have a couple inside and one was moving. While the one next to it was totally still, we switched the still one and the moving one to test for a draft, and the moving one swayed, no matter its location, while the others were still. I had a straight up conversation with her, and it turned out not to be her at all when she came from the other side of the house a couple minutes later. I mean, just several weird things that have happened that we can't explain. Come say goodbye to your brother, the words my mom said to me as a 10-year-old about to watch my younger brother die from cancer 20 years later, and I still carry a small silver chain around my neck that he gave me, and I hear my mother saying that to me almost every time I see it in the mirror. I came here expecting ghosts, but your post ruined me. I'm gonna kiss both my sons when I get home. Always a good idea. Of course my parents took it even harder than I did. Probably the worst thing you can experience in their position. Hope your boys have a happy healthy life. When my little brother died I cried into the stuffed bunny he gave me after my bunny died. I hope you have a good day, friend. That human child trafficking is happening all around us, and we don't know it. Or the fact that we do know it goes on now, and feel powerless to help. Waking up to that fact almost ruined life for me. My brother as a child, hands covering his ears as he rocked back and forth, wanting the fighting to stop. He's all grown up now, but sometimes something happens, and I see that same frightened child in his eyes, trying to block out the world around him. Most of the time though, he's thriving, growing, and nothing like the demons that shaped him. He's easily one of the strongest people I know. My dad's death. It was so sudden. He was everything to me. Haven't been the same since. Same with my mum's. Very sudden and we weren't on good terms. Kills me. I'm so sorry. It's something you never get over. Time does not heal all wounds. Hugs. Ty, it's been 4 years and it's not so raw, but I'll never get over it. Hugs back, friend. Been 6 years and it still haunts me. More hugs back, my friend. I'm sorry you understand the horrible feeling. I wouldn't wish it on anyone. That one time I tried to pick up a girl, but as I was walking over to her, I tripped and fell. Yup, her and all her friends laughed. That was the time to say, sorry, I just fell for you. Wondering if I would have went to the hospital sooner, would my son have still been alive? My best friend was killed a few months ago, and I can't stop going over different things I could've done to stop it. I know it's not constructive, and maybe there's nothing I could have done that would prevented their death, but it doesn't lessen how much I've been obsessing over it. I know saying this won't help, but please know that you shouldn't feel that burden. Talk to a professional if you feel you're ready, but no matter what, take care of yourself. Shattering my front teeth last year. I want nothing more than to be a good citizen and son and brother, but my conscience demands a path that will make those I want to please disgusted with me. Rosie. She was my border collie I had since I was 10 and really helped me through tough times when I was abandoned and left to live on my own at 15. Things were sometimes tough, but I always tried to give her the best. Even if I didn't leave my bed all day, otherwise I'd always get up to walk her. I moved back to my father's, and she turned back to an outside dog, and was generally much worse treated than she deserved there. Especially when I moved away to start university. Eventually he threatened to have her put down, unless I found someone to take her, which we did. But I've always regretted not just finding her a good family to live with before I tried moving her to my father's, so she never had to deal with him. There's also the fact that your father obviously didn't want a dog, and understandably so. He has other dogs. He owns a farm where he raises sheep and has about 3 or 4 sheepdogs of his own. The fact that we are getting closer and closer to death every day, and that it's inevitable. The amount of money I've lost and wasted throughout my life. Past everything got anxiety and disorders. The memories of the people that have come in and out of my life. That capital H in the question. Who I could have been if I didn't grow up how I did. The fact that I'll turn into the same person my father was. Cringy things I did like 5 years ago. The kiss that you should never have given me. Ghosts. Some demons, but mostly ghosts. I'm a black belt in Taekwondo and have been practicing the art for 4 years. A few weeks ago I was assaulted in a parking lot by a 50-year-old or so man over a parking spot. Long story short, he came up to me and started choking me, and all I did was stand there like a deer in headlights while he choked me for a few seconds and then made me move my car. The cops were called and he was arrested, but I just wish I would have done literally anything but stand there and let him choke me. In hindsight, it's the best thing I could have done logically, because I'm certified I could have been arrested even if I was defending myself, but I still wish I kicked him in the mouth when he stepped back. Keeps me up at night still. I was in a shooting in my early teens and the screams of a girl I brought into cover haunt me. I flinch when there is any kind of loud high-pitched yelling or screaming. No matter what I do, it deafens everything around me and I feel like I'm having another panic attack. I have this too. Saw somebody get stabbed in front of me. Can't forget the scream of a high schooler next to me screaming for somebody to call the police. Every time somebody laughs loudly or screams, I look around and get scared thinking somebody will get stabbed. Now I can't help imagining how soldiers felt during the war and came home. The fact that some people forget so much they don't know who they are before they die. The kitten I've killed 8 years ago. I feel like an idiot. That one decision can impact your whole life, and you didn't even know it at the time. Someone I loved told me that I wasn't traumatized and that there was, essentially, no way that I could be. I hear it at night. Easter Island. I feel like it says that it's an example of my kid's future. Everything my ex and I did for the last 5 years. You spend that long together and she keeps a few secrets for a few months and it all falls apart. Every little bit of it gone. I haven't seen her since, but I can hear her laughing, singing. I look out my front window and I see her car truck there still waiting for me cause we have another concert to perform in. My bed is emptier on those days she'd come by and my phone is the most silent it's ever been. Everything, no matter what it is now a reminder of a life I once had, and that life was taken away because she no longer wished to be honest with me. It happened weeks ago, but I've been awake for days now because of everything. I miss it all. Hang in there, buddy. It will get better. I remember when I watched a video of Nico BBQ. It was about Tell's doll, and when I finished the video, I got so scared that he might haunt me. I couldn't even sleep. Now, I don't really have that much nightmares. But man, that moment was traumatizing for me. The fact that I may never find true love. I've talked about this a few times, but hallucinations. Pray to your gods or lack thereof you don't see what I see, nor hear what I hear. I can't stand them. The fear that I don't have the strength to help the people I care for. My self-esteem might never recover. If it doesn't, I have no chance of ever being truly happy again. Paranoia or memories of the past. Especially paranoia around the hours of 12 to 4 AM. The ghost of my food and the occasional carbonated drink that accompanies it 3 hours after consumption. Finding my grandmother after an attempted suicide. The note, how unresponsive she was, how every adult I knew just sort of acted like it didn't happen, that I didn't find her like that. She's better now, but I'm always so afraid I'll be the one to find another person dying or dead in this family. Being a straight Catholic white male, apparently I'm the single most evil thing in the world right now. Perhaps not the most evil, but certainly the most self-pitying. P. Master, you need to stop classifying yourself to other people's standards. Be your own person. I'm sorry for the capital letter H. Unfortunately I don't know how to the tittle. Well, when I was younger, and I laid in my bed, I always heard my chair creak all of a sudden in the middle of the night like someone was sitting down on it. I looked over, but I don't see anyone sitting on my chair. That always gave me shivers. I'm glad I'm no the only one, but I understand how my uncle feels when we hear loud pops or fireworks without knowing what they are. Last 4th of July early in the morning our family was having breakfast and him and I were out back starting up the BBQ and my little cousins threw a M80 towards us. I ducked and he hit the ground and he almost cussed out our 11-year-old cousin. What scares me the most is what if, when he sees me, what if he doesn't like it? What if he runs the other way and I can't hide from it? What happens then? If when he knows me, he's only disappointed? Sarah Bareilles at her lyrical best describing dating strangers. From when he sees me in Retire Us the musical.